What's going on, guys? It's your role model, the IWC Gamers Goon, and as you can tell by my voice, this show was fucking awful, man. This Money in the Bank might be the worst pay-per-view of the year. This Money in the Bank might be the worst Money in the Bank in a long time. This pay-per-view might be one of the worst pay-per-views when it comes to the end of the year, man. This show was horrible. There's not enough bad negative words to say about this show. Horrible, awful, terrible, miserable. Doesn't matter. Whatever negative word you can use to describe something, this show was the epitome of that. It was awful. This show was awful. I hated this show for the most part. This show had a lot of flaws. This was just a train wreck, man. We started off with a train wreck in itself. The Money in the Bank women's ladder match, botch after botch after botch after botch. Raquel Rodriguez is not ready to be on the main roster. Shotzi not ready to be on the main roster. We've known Lacey Evans wasn't ready to be on the main roster, and they botched like all hell. Now, I will give credit to the other ladies. They did do their job. They did have, for their parts of the match, they did fine. They weren't botching. But those three women right there that I just named, my God, did they bring this match quality down. It was hard to watch. I thought Alexa Bliss was going to break her goddamn back with the way Shotzi dropped her on a ladder. It was the most ridiculous looking drop. I don't even think Shotzi knew what the fuck was happening. And I will give them credit, and I did tweet this out. I believe Liv Morgan was up there with Becky in the terms of who should win, one or the other. And I thought it was going to be Becky, but I do appreciate them, and I don't want to sit here and act all negative the whole time, because I'm going to be negative a lot of this show. I do appreciate them with Liv Morgan putting somebody that necessarily won't get a title opportunity without Money in the Bank in it. We've seen her get title opportunities, but she's really never got to that level where she is a viable, like, number one contender. Becky can get there. She give her a month, she can get back on her feet, and she can make it believable to be in any title picture. She didn't need it. Liv Morgan was somebody that needed it. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, both people that are up there in the caliber of people that can legitimately go and legitimately get an opportunity. And then the other three, it could have been star-making moments for them, but I'm glad that it wasn't, because they botched the fuck out of this match. They just looked horrible in this goddamn match, man. Next, we had Theory defending his United States Championship up against Bobby Lashley. And this match, man, was boring as fuck. I am not a big fan of Theory. I think he's boring. I don't find the appeal in him. I don't see what anybody sees in him. They're saying he's the next John Cena. I don't see it. He has zero charisma. Yes, it's also because he's a heel, but in my opinion, this guy's kind of a heel like a fucking Baron Corbin. Where up until the whole Happy Corbin shit, it's just there. You don't like him because he really ain't that good. He thinks he's good, but he ain't that good. It's not hating him for the wrong reason or right reasons. It's more so, I don't fucking like the guy. It's legitimately just like, I don't fucking like you. And that's the thing that I have with Theory, is just, I don't find him entertaining at all. I don't find him to be an entertaining heel. I don't find his heel work good. I like some heels, like The Miz, for example. I appreciate The Miz's heel work. I appreciate a lot of different people's heels work. And the ones that you dislike, you usually dislike for, well, they're doing their job right. This guy, I just don't like, because this shit feels like Roman Reigns before the heel turn, where it's just going to get shoved down our throats regardless, and he's missing something. He's missing something. And I don't know what it is. I can't place my finger on it. He is not the guy. He is not the guy. They're going to try to make him into the guy, and I don't believe he is. If you were to tell me that I got to pick a guy that I think could be the face of the WWE for the next few years, the next 6-7 years, until he goes to Hollywood, I would say Braun Breaker. But they think Theory's the guy. And obviously, Braun Breaker's still in NXT. He's still working out what he needs to do. But I also don't think Theory's the guy. And he lost the United States Championship to Bobby Lashley in a boring match. Don't get me wrong, I love Bobby Lashley. I've sung Bobby Lashley's praises all the way since the days back to the very beginning of the Hurt Business. I love Bobby Lashley. I think he's great. I find him entertaining. But man, I just cannot stand Austin Theory. I don't think he's a great wrestler by any means. I find him very boring. So we have a new champion in Bobby Lashley, but once again, I was bored in the match. Next, we have Bianca Belair versus Carmella. My God, this was not good. Carmella is not that good in the ring. Bianca was cool, I guess. But once again, this match really wasn't all that good. Bianca won as she should. Really pointless. Really just anticlimactic. Nothing too spectacular to talk about. They didn't bore me to sleep like the Theory match. They didn't have the botches that the women's ladders match had. It's just a match, man. It was just a match. Then we had the Usos going up against the Street Profits. And this was a pretty damn good tag team match. I'm not going to lie. I appreciated this match. The Street Profits looked good. And I honestly thought that we might see the Street Profits potentially win. But we didn't. They made it feel like the Street Profits potentially had a chance there. At some points in the match, but the Usos eventually won this thing. It's probably the best match of the night, if you ask me. Men's Money in the Bank was a good match, and it might top this match, but in terms of like winners and the whole just feel of it, I said this was probably the best one on the card. And talk about a snooze fest. We got Ronda Rousey and Natalya in a submission match. And once again, just like the Theory match, I did not give a fuck. This match was boring. This match really just to set up what happened after the match. It sucked. Ronda Rousey's knee was an issue in this match. But she ended up still beating Natalya. And then as soon as she beats Natalya, Liv Morgan runs on out and cashes in. Ronda puts her in an ankle lock. She escapes. She gets a roll up. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan is the second woman in 5 women. There's a 40% chance that if you're a woman winning women's Money in the Bank, that you're going to cash in the same night. 4 out of the 5 of these women that have won women's Money in the Bank have not held it past SummerSlam. Carmella is the only one. Alexa Bliss cashed it in the same night. Nikki Ash cashed it in very quickly. Then you had Asuka, who was gifted it the night after. 3 of them have happened within 2 days of the show. 60% have happened within 2 days of the show. And I'm sitting here getting called crazy for thinking that there's a problem. Where's the excitement? Where's the suspense? Where's the I don't want to know what's going to happen factor? What made Money in the Bank special is we might be waiting 5-6 months, and we're going to get a tease here and there. We're going to get a tease on a Monday Night Raw. It's going to make you want to watch the show. I want to watch Monday Night Raw because maybe this is the week that Liv Morgan's going to cash in. They don't give you that. They cash it in right away because they're impatient as fuck. They can't build shit up when it comes to this women's division. You want to look at it? All the women's Money in the Bank winners, they really did not have good title runs, and they fell. Carmella, she had an unbearable title run. Asuka, she had the title for a while. Alexa Bliss, I'm not sure when Alexa Bliss dropped it, to be honest, but then Nikki Ash. So at least 2 of the 5 have had very non-memorable title runs. And we've only technically had 4 win. Liv Morgan's the 5th. So, it's going to be... I hope they don't drop the ball with her, but I don't know why they can't just have some suspense to this goddamn women's division, man. I'm saying this and I was getting yelled at for saying it. I want to be able to want to watch Raw. I want to be able to want to watch SmackDown. I haven't been watching the fucking weekly shows because there's not shit that I can't fucking predict. There's not shit that I can't find on YouTube. There's not shit that matters on the fucking show. If you tease me, oh, maybe there's going to be something crazy. Maybe a cash-in's going to happen tonight. Maybe I'm going to tune into the fucking show. The thing with Raw is it's formulaic. Money in the Bank eliminates the formula. It eliminates that. It allows you for an opportunity to change it up. It allows you an opportunity to spice things up during the show. Oh, we're having a one-on-one match between a champion and somebody else. We're having a one-on-one between Ronda Rousey and, let's say, for the fuck of it, let's just say Ronda Rousey and Ronda Rousey and Chelsea are randomly having a match on SmackDown. You're going to spice it up with a little tease cash in. You're going to spice it up. But that's not what they give us. They gave it to us right away when it comes to this goddamn women's division. And it's ridiculous. It's not exciting. It's not fun. I don't know how people keep falling for this shit. It's boring. It's boring. It has zero excitement. It has zero fucking excitement. But then you got people that are just so happy for Liv Morgan in the moment. You had the same shit last year with Nikki Ash, and look how that worked out. Oh my god, somebody we like is won Money in the Bank, and they got the title almost immediately, instead of building them up and having them actually go through a story and actually become somebody worth a goddamn thing in the company. You just give it to them right away, and then you're going to give it off them in 2 months, and you're going to forget all about that she even had a fucking title run. But it's okay, because in the moment, we're happy for him. We're happy for him in the moment. I don't understand it. I get people being happy for Liv Morgan. I do. Liv Morgan's worked her ass off to get where she is. But I don't understand why you can't be critical of the company booking this shit. You know damn well that Liv Morgan's going to be out of the main event scene in a few months. She will. Whereas if she has Money in the Bank and she holds it for 4 or 5 months, she's always lingering around that Money in the Bank scene. People are really invested into her. I'm not saying people weren't invested in Liv Morgan, but they're really thinking, when is that moment going to happen? They got that fucking moment right away. So when she's done at the main event scene, she's done. There's no lingering around. There's none of that. You could have prolonged her main event stay a few months by having her always tease cash-ins. But you're not going to. Liv Morgan's your women's champion. End of conversation. I don't care whether or not you liked it or not. That's my opinion on it, and I'm not taking anybody else's opinions and validating them as my own or anything like that. This is what I'm thinking. If you don't agree with me, fine. I don't want to fucking hear about you not agreeing with me. Just keep that to your fucking self, because I've already had enough of the fucking arguing about this goddamn women's Money in the Bank. So fucking ignorant, the way that this shit is always booked. Stupid. Then we get into the men's Money in the Bank. This was a good match. I don't want you to get this wrong. This was a good match. The men's Money in the Bank. It was between Madcap Moss, Omos, Riddle, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and our special entrant into this goddamn thing, Theory. Not Cody. Theory. Fucking Theory. Man, once this motherfucker got announced, I knew that it was going to be this motherfucker winning the goddamn thing. I was sitting there, just like, oh, this makes perfect sense. This is Vince's fucking guy. This is the guy that they want to build up. This is the guy that they think is the next fucking John Cena. Like I said earlier, I don't fucking see it. I don't fucking see it. I don't find him appealing in the slightest. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's an interesting character. I think he has little to no charisma. I don't like the guy. I don't find me being entertained during his matches. It's not somebody that I would necessarily want to watch. But I guess we can be excited about it. Because at least, unlike the Liv Morgan situation, we can look forward to a tease on a Monday Night Raw. We can look forward to a tease on SmackDown. We can have some sort of suspense when it comes to these shows. Good match. Riddle and Seth Rollins at the end both were this close to winning. Sami Zayn was this close to winning. But in the end, Theory was the one to win. Fucking Theory. And that just put a damper on the entire night. It summed up the whole show. Shit. Complete and utter dog shit of a show. I do want to give a shout out to Omos. This is the best that I've seen him wrestle in the WWE. Put a ladder in this guy's hands, and he turns into something special. I'm not joking. Omos had a good showing. Madcap Moss had a good showing. Everybody in this match had a good showing. The ending was the lackluster part because Theory fucking won. Not Seth Rollins, not Riddle, not Sami Zayn. It was Theory. Oh, man. Wow. And I heard people saying that they didn't want McIntyre to win it because they find McIntyre boring. And I can see why you'd find McIntyre boring. But if you find McIntyre boring, how the fuck are you going to find Theory exciting? I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why Theory was the winner here. I understand why. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good move. And once again, like I said, get ready for the shove down our throats like Roman Reigns before the heel turn. Whether anybody likes it or not, whether the whole place boos him for the right or wrong reasons, this motherfucker is going to be the main event guy for a while. Whether we want to see it or not. And even if you do want to see it, I feel like you're going to get tired real quick of it. I don't like the guy. I don't think in the long run many people are going to like the guy in terms of wanting to watch the guy. I don't know, man. The one thing about Theory that's good, I guess, is that he's a young guy that they could potentially do something with. That's the only benefit. The only problem is I don't think he's the right young guy. The only problem is I don't think he has the it factor. I don't think he has any of this shit that makes you a star. He's just missing it. He's just missing it. Completely missing it. He doesn't have it. I don't think of him as a mid-carder. I don't think of him as... He literally, to me, feels like a goddamn jobber. That's what Theory feels like. He fucking is not on the playing level of any of these guys. You think Roman Reigns is going to lose to Theory? And even if it does happen, you think that right there is what makes sense? You want to see Theory and Brock Lesnar? Really? Really? Those guys are all the way up here. My hand doesn't even go up far enough for those guys' level. And then, just like Nikki Ash, ASH, the competition's up here. The Money in the Bank winner isn't here, 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 isn't. It's all the way down here. If I could go lower, I would, but I'd be out of frame. The Money in the Bank winner is not in even close to the same playing field. The Money in the Bank winner is not somebody that has the potential to grow into that playing field. I would not be surprised if Theory were to lose. I would not be surprised if Theory were to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Theory were to put it up for a different, like a one for one, like somebody's under his skin and they convince him to put it up. I don't really know what the fuck they're gonna do with Theory, because at the end of the day, I could see WWE being stupid and having him beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam when he beats Brock Lesnar, and then we're gonna have to go through Theory and fucking Roman Reigns. I could also see them just saying, you know what, you're not gonna beat Roman Reigns. I could see him holding it till Mania. I could see him doing a lot of different fucking things when it comes to this shit. At least it'll add some excitement to wanting to watch the shows. That's the one thing I will maintain throughout this with Theory, is at least it's going to make me curious enough to watch the damn show to see when the train wreck happens. They didn't give us out Liv Morgan. At least they gave it to us with Theory. I don't think Theory was the right choice, but maybe he is. Who knows? We'll let time tell with that. But and this Money in the Bank, to me, was a complete letdown. It was a terrible show. It was something that I did not have fun watching. It was not exciting to me. It had little to zero excitement. It had little to zero fun factor. It had little to zero care out of me. I don't necessarily, like, for example, previous shows this happened, maybe I will tune into Raw. And I'd tune into Raw for a couple, maybe an hour or two before the show started dying down. Or maybe AEW. Go watch Blood and Guts right after the big show last weekend with New Japan. But no, not with the show. I have little to no interest to watch Monday. I don't care enough to go watch Friday. Man, it's just a letdown. This show was a letdown. End of story. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what you thought of this show. You're probably going to be like, oh, Gamer's Goon, you're an idiot. Oh my god, this was some of the greatest Money in the Bank shit ever. I don't really give a shit if you disagree with me. At the end of the day, it's my fucking opinion. I'm not going to be told otherwise. I hated the fucking show. End of story. It fucking sucked, in my opinion.